published, 13:06 Eastern Standard Time, the 22nd of January 2018, updated, 13:07 Eastern Standard Time, the 22nd of January 2018. Joe Root has pulled out of the upcoming 2020 triangular in Australia and New Zealand after being persuaded to rest by England coach Trevor Bayliss. England's Test captain was due to feature continuously throughout this marathon 5-month winter tour as one of an increasingly select number of multi-format internationals, but will now depart for a near 3-week break next Monday after attempting to complete a one-day whitewash over the Australians. Along with Moeen Ali and Chris Woakes, the 27-year-old will miss 4 round-robin matches against the 2 host nations plus a potential final, and fly back to the Southern Hemisphere ahead of the first one-day international against the New Zealanders in Hamilton on February 25. Joe Root has pulled out of the upcoming 2020 triangular in Australia and New Zealand. England's Test captain, Wright, has been persuaded to rest by coach Trevor Bayliss, left Root's initial resistance to the instruction to skip the Trans-Tasman series was partly down to his concern that seeking an Indian Premier League deal this weekend would lead to doubts as to where his priorities lie. But he has come to view the sacrificing of a handful of extra caps for a lengthy stretch at the world's leading domestic 20-over competition as a career decision that could benefit the national cause. As he heads into Saturday's auction for the first time as one of 16 marquee players, there is no point lying about it. Of course, there is a money side to the IPL, but that is not why I went into the auction. I really believe playing a block of 2020 cricket with that scrutiny, being under pressure for a long periods of time against the world's players in that format would be a great opportunity to develop and learn my white ball game, he said. With the 2 major tournaments in white ball cricket around the corner, that is what going there is all about, to gain experience in the short form and work with other players around the world who have had a huge amount of exposure to 2020 cricket, and see some different coaches. Root was due to feature continuously throughout England's marathon 5-month winter tour. He hate missing games of cricket for England. It is something that doesn't really sit well with me. You look at the amount of cricket we have got coming up, and it was a long, hard decision that we had to come to. The opportunity that the IPL brings, you almost have to look at it as more of an investment for my game and for all the England team moving forward. If being involved is going to add more to my game for the next 4 or 5 years, then missing a few games here might be worthwhile. I was very reluctant to miss this series, but it's important that I am fresh and at my best for the whole summer. There's going to be a lot of cricket played, and I have to make sure that I am not just on the park but on the park, giving myself the best chance to perform consistently. I don't want to get to the back end of the summer burnt out, Sportsmail revealed last May that the England management and coaches saw the shortest format of the game as offering the best chance for their number 1 batsman to recharge the batteries in the face of a crippling international schedule. The batsman hopes to recharge his batteries in the face of a crippling international schedule. The physical stresses of Root's role were highlighted at the end of the Ashes when Root succumbed to gastroenteritis and dehydration and could not return to the field to complete his innings at the SCG. His latest time out follows the regular pattern of his career. Since establishing himself with an unbeaten 90 off the Aussies in his first ever 2020 international innings in 2013, the Yorkshireman has made a habit of resting from 20-over contests, featuring in just 23 of 36 such England fixtures. An alternative would have been to sit out the 550-over matches versus county colleague Kane Williamson's Kiwi team instead. But England are desperate to maintain their impressive momentum towards the 2019 World Cup with continuity of selection. Given his record, Root should pick up a deal when he goes under the hammer in Bangalore. In 2020 internationals, only India's Virat Kohli possesses a superior batting average than his 39.1, and his white ball prowess has also led him to a 51.4 average in ODIs, the 5th highest of all time amongst those to have played 35 matches. The 27-year-old succumbed to gastroenteritis and dehydration at the end of the Ashes. England's Test players have been made viable purchases for the 8 franchises by virtue of being made available for a 7-week stretch this year. They will be permitted to travel to the subcontinent immediately after the Test series in New Zealand concludes on April 2 and are not required back in the UK until May 17, a week before the first of the summer, versus Pakistan at Lord's. However, IPL auctions can throw up surprises. None bigger than when short-form superstar Chris Gayle went unsold as a £285,000 lot in 2011 and only got a gig as a replacement for the Royal Challengers once the tournament had begun. England will consider a replacement for Root in the 16-man squad once they have a handle on Ben Stokes' availability. They had earmarked him for the first meeting with New Zealand on February 13 before a court date clash was announced last week, and are now uncertain over the timing of his arrival. Meanwhile, fast bowler Liam Plunkett is being kept on the tour in the hope he recovers from his left hamstring injury in time for the T20s. He is almost certainly out of the final two ODIs in Adelaide and Perth as Owen Morgan's team push for an unprecedented 5-0 win.